Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 10th, 2022. 22. Was that the Naked Gun? Strike two. What's going on? How are you? How was your day going? How was your weekend? Did you have a good time and everything? Well, that's awesome. I am on vacation. Vacazione. I haven't been doing shit for the last 3-4 days. I caught a little bit of the Cowboys game against who did they play there? They played the so-and-sos. I saw the end of the Chiefs Broncos, and the Cowboys played the Eagles. That's right. Gave them a good old-fashioned beatdown for the unprecedented 17th game. You know, of the season. Can you imagine the records that are going to fall? They get an extra game every year. I imagine at some point, if they get done throwing the fucking ball in every down, I would think Eric Dickerson, rushing yards in a season. You know, are they going to bring out the asterisk, the Roger Maris asterisk? Well, he only did it in 60 games. You know, O.J. Simpson, say what you want about his personal life. The man rushed for 2,003 or 4 yards in a 14-game season. It's almost as if when the man puts his mind to something, nothing can stop him. Sorry. Anyway, I have no idea what's going on. I am out in the middle of nowhere. I could turn on the TV, and I guess I could watch some sports, but I'm kind of enjoying myself. Just shutting it down. Just taking stock. Yeah, I've just been chilling out here in the wilderness with my lovely wife for the last couple of days. And by the time you hear this, we will be back to the nut house that is L.A. But I'll be honest with you, a day and a half, I'm ready to get back. I'm a lunatic. I don't know what it is. Because then I feel like after 2-3 days, this is a 3-dayer, right? After 3 days, then I never want to go back. Day and a half, I'm like, all right, I feel good. I feel relaxed. I can still go back and do this shit, right? And then after 3 days, I'm just like, what does it all mean? I mean, time's going by and just, what the fuck? Gonna write another hour of shit jokes for the people? Bill, you don't write for the people. You write for yourself, you selfish bald cunt. There we go. Sorry. See, you didn't even need to do it. By the way, I don't know how I missed this, probably because I never watched the news or anything. I didn't realize the great Mike Nesmith from the Monkees passed away in December, and I was working. I was going to go see them at the Greek Theater when then the two surviving members, Mickey Dolenz and Mike Nesmith, were playing. And I was so sad to hear that news. I really was, but really also admired the way that man seemed to live his life, where he really did what he wanted to do. He created what he wanted to create. And he just operated at a really high level. And then not to mention, the Monkey Show itself was such a huge thing for me when I was a kid because it combined two things I love the most, comedy and music. And I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I love those guys. To know that there's only one guy left. Holy mackerel. It's why you got to live your life, man. But anyway, yeah. Rest in peace, Mike Nesmith. And Peter Tork died a couple years ago. I want to say in 2018, 2019, and Davy Jones passed away a long time ago. I feel like in the 2000s or something. Unreal. I remember making this joke when I was in Liverpool. Even though I was sad about the death, I still had to make a joke. I did a gig in Liverpool, and Peter Tork had just died. And Liverpool's the home of the Beatles. And I was just like, all right, 2 Beatles are dead, 2 Monkees are dead. Who's going to win? Right? It got to laugh. But now I'm thinking the Beatles were up 2 dead members to none. And the Monkees have come roaring back to make it 3-2. Will the Beatles get the equalizer? What am I doing? Sorry. Anyway. What else are you going to do? Just dwell in the sadness of it? Speaking of dying and age, I saw one of the dumbest, I can't say the dumbest fucking things, but like a typical stupid thing that was trending on the internet. It was about some supermodel who was in her 50s, and they were going, she had the audacity to age. Like, that's like a new, like, liberal fucking, they love the word audacity. She had the audacity to have a thought, you know? He was a man and had the audacity to want to be a woman. Like, they love throwing that fucking word around. So, it's this whole article about a supermodel who evidently is in her 50s, and I think her husband died or something. So now she's going out into the clubs and she never got Botox, and she's bitching that in her 50s, nobody's looking at her. It's like, yeah, you're in your 50s. No one younger wants to fuck that. I'm sorry. And she was acting as though it was some sort of unique experience. Like somehow a man in his 50s can walk into a club and start banging, like young chicks are like, oh my God. They're not. You're 50. You're gross. Get out. Unless you own the place. Get out of here. Stop being a creep going out to the club. Yet let young people have their fucking time. I know there's women. What are you talking about? You see a fucking older guy. She's a predator. She's a fucking predator. She's going to take all his money. That's why she's there. She is choosing money and stability over love. There's 3 types of people out there in the dating scene. There's people who are actually looking for love. There's people that marry for looks, and there's people that marry for money/stability. And those people that marry for looks and they marry for money usually get spit out the other end on some side of a divorce in their 50s, and then they go out there and they wonder why nobody gives a fuck anymore. It's 'cause you're old. People my age still trying to be like sexy is just, it's fucking, how don't you remember what it was like as a younger person to see somebody coming in with their lizardy skin, you know? Or how creeped out the women were when some older cologne stinking guy came walking in. It was just the dumbest thing ever. And plus also, I just feel like, you know, that's just like a classic fucking, you know, female thing where when it works for you, it's all good. And then when it doesn't, you need to change it. It's just like you were a supermodel. How many cover charges have you paid in your life? How many drinks did you actually fucking have to buy when you were young and gorgeous? And now you're fucking old. And now all of a sudden you want the saloon doors ain't swinging the way they used to be. You know, we're all supposed to fucking feel bad. I don't know. Sorry. I hate to tell it. You're in your 50s. So your options are to get with someone who looks like me. An old, bald, orange man. That's your wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Or you could try to find love. She was like upset that evidently that she was walking into the club and guys in their 30s didn't give a shit. Yeah, they don't. They don't. The same way when you were in your 30s, you didn't want some fucking bald orange guy in his 50s being like, hey, baby, what's your sign? Oh, my God, get away from me. I'm fucking young and beautiful, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, she starts getting up in there, you know, into the old, and another thing too, she still looks great. That's what's funny. She still looks fucking great. So I don't know, like, I'm supposed to somehow make a supermodel feel good about her looks. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you weren't one of the most beautiful women on the planet for your entire life. God, that must be so difficult. So, of course, that sends me down this fucking rabbit hole, which is the usual thing. Women like that, acting as though only bad things happen to women. And that guys, fucking guy can be 117 years old. He's got a 22-year girlfriend. No, that's not what happens. If he has $1 billion, he does. And she's putting fucking, I don't know, salmonella in his goddamn eggs or whatever. Can you do that? Can you buy salmonella? Sorry, I was trying to think of a poison and I panicked. Couldn't think of anything. Arsenic. There we go. Rat poison. Putting rat poison in your colostomy bag. So there was another one where there was this woman going like, back when I was a model, I got fired for being a size 4, which I guess is small. I haven't cross-dressed in a while. I'm a little rusty on my women's sizes numbers. So they fired her for being a 4, right? Said she was too fat. So she goes, joke's on you. I'm now a 10. And I can pick up your audacity, because I had the audacity to be a 4. That's what she said. Then she goes, joke's on you. I can now lift up your audacity and so I forget what, because now she's like a weightlifter or something like that. So it's like, all right, well, that's a good thing then. Like there's no audacity in modeling. It is what it is when you go into it. You're not eating. Everybody knows this. Like, what they're bitching about, that would be like a quarterback going like, I just got replaced at quarterback because I had the audacity to be 35 years old in the NFL, and they decided to draft a younger guy with the stronger arm because I had the audacity to age. It's the same fucking thing. 3 years ago, I got kicked off my football team because I had the audacity to blow out my ACL. To get a knee injury playing football. It's like, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. All right? Everybody has their moment in life, and when your moment is over, or if you can't live up to what the level of excellence is, then you got to pick something else. The fuck are you complaining about? You got to be a model. That's amazing. Amazing. It's amazing, right? Then you got to be too big for them, which who gives a fuck what they think, and now you're lifting weights. That's fucking great. So the audacity. Ugh. I got a feeling that word's going to be around for a while. Used like that. I had the audacity. Fucking audacity. Can you fucking believe it? It's like, yeah, that's how it works. It's like if you're an athlete, you got to understand that like any day somebody comes in and does your job better, you're out. You're done. If you're a coach, you lose a couple games in a row, your ass is on the hot seat. You got to sell your house and pull your kids out of the school they just made friends at. It's just, it's how it works. I've never seen like a football coach like, I got fired because I had the audacity to only be 9-7 3 years in a row. You couldn't get us over the hump. You're out. Fuck you and your dream. Granted, football coaches can be fat fucks, but it's not a beauty contest. I don't know. I just understand why that fucking thing starts trending. Kind of glad it did because it gave me something to talk about here because I haven't been doing shit the entire time. Oh, I got something else here. Oh, Billy on the internet watching the news here. I'm doing all topical material. Have you seen that new fucking Apple Watch commercial where it's 911 calls people made on their Apple Watch? Like, how few fucking Apple Watches are they selling? Because most people like me are like, oh, I got the fucking phone. I don't need, there's a clock on the phone. You know what I mean? So then they have all these people calling and these fucking horrifying scenes. This woman drove a car in a lake, of course. Crazy broad. No, I'm kidding. It's why they shouldn't be driving. You don't hear a guy talking in his Apple Watch that he fucking drove his car into a lake. I'm just saying. I had to use my Apple Watch to call the police because I had the audacity to drive my car into a lake. I feel like if I was a man driver, they wouldn't have put that lake there. Hello, double standard nature. Anyway, so these fucking people are like, one woman drove her car into a lake, and as far as I can understand, is in an air pocket. Talking to the cops. Another guy's like, I'm in a barn, I broke my leg, I can't get up. You gotta come get me. It's gonna get bad quick. Oh, come get me, right? And in the middle of all that, for some reason, he says, I couldn't reach my phone, so I called on my Apple Watch, right? Like, who gives a fucking product endorsement in the middle of a fucking 911 call? I'm calling bullshit on that commercial. I'm not saying the guy didn't use his Apple Watch. I'm not saying he didn't break his leg in that barn. All right? What I'm saying is I think afterwards they did a little, they added it, they embellished. These are actual 911 calls, and then they added, can you just say that you were calling from your Apple Watch? Like, how does that... He didn't even say, I'm calling from a watch, which you probably try to use as few words as possible if you were laying in a barn with your leg busted. But this guy's like, I'm calling from my Apple Watch. I got the turquoise one. My wife loves it. So does her sister. I think I might get a threesome. You should buy one. Oh, yeah, my address is... I'm calling 100% bullshit on that. Nia, would you agree?
What are you talking about?
On the, there's a new Apple Watch commercial.
Yes.
It's really unsettling.
Oh, am I back on the podcast?
Yes, come here. So,
Giving the people what they want.
That's right. A happier, more sunshiny vibe. So this is Apple
What
Watch.
are you complaining about now?
The Apple Watch commercial. All complaints all the time.
All complaints all the time.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Oh, you told me about that. I haven't seen this commercial, but you told me about it.
Well, it's this 911 commercial, and this woman's like, yeah, I drove my car into a leg. Water's out to my neck. And there's this other guy who's going like, I busted my leg. I'm in the barn. Just trying to fuck a yak and it bit back.
A yak?
Or whatever. Trying to fuck a pig and his friends came over.
Oh, goodness.
And then there was somebody else. I don't know what her deal is. Like, I'm trying to put this dress on. I can't zip it up, right? So the guy's laying in the barn after whatever he tried to fuck kicked him in his leg.
Accident. Don't make it seem like people who work on farms sleep with the farm animals. That's not nice.
What do you mean? That happens all the time.
How would you know? Did you grow up on a farm?
Oh my God, you are so tone deaf.
Am I tone deaf or naive? What do you mean? Like,
why do you think they have farmersonly.com?
It's not.
Why can't
the farmers and the cows can hook?
Yeah, so nobody knows what they're doing.
No.
So anyways, this guy's laying in the barn. My leg's all busted up. And he goes, I couldn't reach my phone. I'm calling from my Apple Watch.
You would never tell a 911 dispatcher that. They would be like, we know. We can see everything on our monitors. Okay.
No, but why would you do a product endorsement?
Yeah, exactly. That's
I just sat down and had a Pepsi, and I slipped in my Uggs, and I fell and busted my leg calling you on my Apple Watch.
But, so the point is that you can call 911 from your Apple Watch. I bet your regular fucking Timex won't do that. Huh?
I know, but you could also call them from your fucking...
Your Guess Watch? Your Swatch Watch?
No,
Remember
this is what they're doing. They've realized that they put a hat on a hat when they made the fucking Apple Watch, because you already have a clock on your phone, and you can already make phone calls on your phone.
A hat on a hat?
Yeah. So they're like, what do we do here?
Yeah.
They have to create this fear that you're going to drive a car into a lake, and your phone's going to be like... I don't know, underwater.
Yeah, but you can still call 911
yeah.
from your...
Well, how come her watch wasn't underwater? She went in like she was on a roller coaster, like, woo! Putting her arms up. Yeah, baby, Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, is the watch like waterproof up to 8 feet or something? Because that's also something that they should consider if it hasn't already been done, which I'm sure it has.
It was all just really convenient. I think that somebody who runs Apple over there demanded that one of their new employees who wanted a better office show loyalty to the company and drive her car or Prius into a lake, and then they recorded the whole thing. It's like, but you just can't say that we had this conversation. And if you do that, we will let you sit in Steve Jobs' office, which has remained locked since he's died. You can sit in there for 20 minutes. And she said yes.
And maybe you'll be a fraction of as brilliant as our great leader was. Yes,
yeah, you can put on his turtleneck, one of his turtleneck sweaters. I'm just saying, I'm calling bullshit.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's definitely seems a little far fetched.
I had to call 911 because I had the audacity to drive into a lake.
I suppose it's that extra layer of security that you have your phone, you have your watch, you have many things on you where you could call for help if you're ever in peril. So
And all of them are tracking you, and then people don't want to get microchipped.
I still don't understand like Apple tags. Have you seen these?
Are you going to get microchipped, Nia?
Why would I get microchipped?
Exactly.
Willingly. But have you seen these?
What sort of fight are you going to put up? We talking Red Dawn here?
I feel like I would put up a pretty good fight if someone tried to kidnap me.
Knock it up.
Yeah. Stop, dirtbag. What was that? What would she say?
Don't move, dirtbag.
In Police Academy.
Yeah, private hooks.
I'm pretty scrappy, and you know I fight dirty too. So I'm kind of like, I'm going for every possible orifice. I'm, scratching whatever I can scratch. At the very least, I'm getting some evidence underneath my nails. So
I know, but you'll be attacking the government, so you'll go to jail.
What do you mean?
They said I read this fucking article, and this fucking nerd is going like, yeah, it's inevitable, so you can't even fight it.
Oh, that they're going to actually force people to be microchipped? Where are people getting this idea that that's actually going to happen?
Because there's some idiots that work for companies that have already done it. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to scare you about your kid, just like the Apple Watch commercial. Like, I drove my kids into a lake. I can't find them.
They had some lady on. I have to look it up. It was years ago that they had some lady on some morning show, and she had voluntarily gotten her and her entire family microchipped for like tracking safety reasons. It's already been done, but it's not like they're forcing you to. It's not like, they're lining you up. And
that's how it, initially, they came out with the vaccine and you didn't have to get it.
Choice.
and now in Australia, I believe they're beating people, aren't they?
Australia is not fucking around.
They're not fucking around.
They're not fucking around. And if you screw it up, that's why they're mad at that tennis player, right? Is that what you were telling me?
They weren't mad at the tennis player. The tennis player was coming in to make him some money, and then they looked the other way, and then all the Australians were like, crikey.
Yeah. Well,
wait. Yeah. That's not nice.
Yeah,
right?
You can't make everybody else do it, and then this person gets an exception.
Exactly.
That's not okay.
Yeah, they're fucking lunatics. They're going to come up and headbutt that guy right in his teeth.
They don't want your fucking virus. They don't want your dogs. They don't want your strange plants or fruits.
That's New Zealand.
I thought Australia was like that too.
I don't know.
You can't bring any different kind of
I think that was New Zealand. Australia didn't give a fuck. You can't
bring any kind of like living thing or whatever into their ecosystem because you might throw the whole shit off balance.
No, Australia doesn't care. You can come in, do whatever you want, and then take a shit on the Great Barrier Reef.
No,
they don't care.
No,
They're all about the money in
not
Australia.
True. I'm sure I
might have that wrong. It's been a while since I've been there.
I think you have it wrong. I think they are very determined to keep their beautiful landscape, and it is beautiful.
The most beautiful beaches I've ever seen in my life.
New Zealand was like magical. No, it's just
no, I'm talking Australia.
Australia is amazing too, but I was just saying I liked the waterfalls and the beaches in New Zealand. I thought they were magical.
New Zealand had like the toughest people I've ever seen in my life. The native New Zealanders all look like Hall of Fame linebackers or defensive tackles. Every single one of them was like, would not fuck with that guy, would not fuck with that guy.
Remember when we flew in the airport and everything was like Harry Potter? It was all the dragons and all that stuff in the airport. Do you remember this?
Yeah, because they shot that down there.
Yeah, and
you know why?
And the safety video was like the cast of Lord of the Rings. That's what, not Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. The cast in the safety video, they had like fucking Elijah Wood. I feel like it was directed by Peter Jackson. Like they just went all in.
Well, because they shot it down there and they don't recognize SAG down there, so they only had to pay the actors once. It was a big fiasco.
Was it?
Oh yeah, like the director of that movie never got paid. They made like $6 billion on paper. It was still not in profit, and he had to sue them. I think he had to keep making Lord of the Rings just so they still needed him so he'd get paid. It was one of the worst things ever. And then as he was suing them, I believe they got bought by another corporation, so he was chasing a ghost, and it was all legal.
Really? This all happened?
Yeah, look it up.
Okay. Damn.
If he only had an Apple Watch, he could have called his lawyer, and he would have been fine.
Even from the middle of the earth, you could have called.
On your Apple Watch.
CAA. Have them come rescue you.
Listen, I've just made the third one. There's $6 billion in profit. I'm calling it my Apple Watch, by the way. I have not had anything beyond a per diem.
Call from my Apple Watch, by the way. By the way,
I got the rose gold one. My wife loves it.
By the way, this was. Oh, this is my retirement gift, by the way.
What is?
The Apple Watch.
The Apple Watch?
Yeah.
I remember when it came out, I was like, that thing is stupid. That is just redundant. I don't need that. I just thought it was, I thought it was kind of like.
I was with someone who kept looking at their watch, and I was like, why does she keep looking at her watch? And I realized she had an Apple Watch, and she was getting text messages on it. So it's like, instead of, pulling out your phone, she was just checking the watch because it kept going off, and she was like tapping on it, I guess.
And then what, you text with one finger?
I have no idea. I don't even wear a watch. What does Def Leppard mean? Like, what is the deaf part? What is
Def is like it's dope, right? No, like a dope leopard. It's like a leopard that's into hip hop.
That's not how they meant it at all. How did they mean it?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. But I've been listening to them.
You knew the whole backstory of Peter Jackson and his advertisements for the airline and all the drama, but you don't know about Def Leppard. I feel like you would know that more than anything. Like, that would be the one thing that you knew, because there's so much you don't know. But I feel like you would know that. That's just so in your wheelhouse to know how.
What am I, fucking Eddie Trunk? I don't know who that. I don't know
who Eddie Trunk is.
Eddie Trunk is all of that historian. He's like a paleontologist of hair metal.
I want people to pay attention to this. There's nothing wrong with dating somebody 10 years older or 10 years younger, but understand you will have moments like this. Well, one person will be like, I have no idea what you're referring to. Who is Eddie Trunk?
Eddie Trunk exists outside your wheelhouse.
Okay.
I mean, who was I listening to the other day? You freaked out.
Oh my God. Bill was playing Jodeci like it was fucking 94 or something like that. But like, I was obviously so excited, but I was like, are we at a dance at my
Yeah, now if I know who Jodeci is, how do you not know who Eddie Trunk is? I feel like I'm doing more work here.
Really? Jodeci
no, I'm kidding.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Jodeci was more popular than whoever Eddie Trunk is. I don't even know who that is, but I'm willing to bet that Jodeci was more famous than him. Am I right?
Hey, maybe we need to do a versus.
Eddie Trunk.
Eddie Trunk versus Jodeci. The versus nobody wanted to see. Both sides just going, I don't know who that is. But if they had the Apple Watch.
Maybe that's what we need to bring this country together. A random versus of two totally different genres.
I want to pitch myself for an Apple Watch 911 call to my agent.
Oh my God, please do.
I want to do it
right now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do like that Jussie Smollett dude. I'm gonna create something that happens to me. Oh, sorry. Still a bad topic?
Ooh, still a sore one. That is a sore one.
Did you see Joey Villagomez? Joey Villagomez said, is he the first guy that ever went to jail for kicking his own ass? Nia, come on. We all have a hero fantasy. The man followed through with it. You got to give it up to him. He actually fucking had a plan and he carried it out. Not every movie works, Nia. You can sit.
That's the thing about it. It could have been a short film. He could have made a really deep, well acted, really interesting kind of film about that subject. It could have been a creative exercise.
Well, reality TV is a lot bigger than movies these days, Nia. So he went real.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about it because it's just,
Nia, how did the Jussie Smollett incident affect you?
No, when it first happened, of course,
This is what they're going to do to you, Nia.
I did a little, thing on my stories about it because I felt so awful. But yeah, it's complicated.
This is like you when you have your hit TV show, and okay, we're bringing Nia in. She just said, just once again, we are agreeing to not bring up the Jussie Smollett case. That's it. Absolutely.
That's Nia, going to be in my writer.
Nia, thank you so much for joining us. You look absolutely radiant.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank you for having me.
congratulations on your big new TV show. It's a hit. I saw Apple Watches was advertising on it. You got to get an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Just going back, do you plan on faking a hate crime at all? Like a Jussie Smollett? Smollett?
You know what? I'm sorry. I have
Nia Renee Hill storms out of interview.
Yeah, I specifically asked to not be asked about this.
And you had the audacity.
You had the audacity to ask me about it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Are you getting any questions still? Are you still giving people advice? I haven't been on the podcast in so long that I have no idea what's
I know, it
going
sucks.
on anymore.
Well,
So, what's happening? Are people sending in questions?
You know what's funny, Nia? The same questions you ask about the podcast, you could even be asking about me. We don't even know each other anymore.
I know,
we've
right?
We've had 2 kids. Mm-hmm. We pass each other in the hall.
We're just 2 ships in the night.
2 ships in the night, So we're out here in a Red Roof Inn trying to reconnect. I busted my leg. I was reaching for the Bible. I had my Apple Watch on. I should have just played John 13.
Can you watch things on your Apple Watch like you can watch on your iPhone? Like you watch YouTube and stuff on your Apple Watch?
I don't know. I feel like this is a better commercial for the Apple Watch because we've said Apple Watch a million times. And there's probably, I imagine, some clever person on the internet is going to be like, hey, Jada says, just let you know, he just dedicated her podcast to a fucking Apple Watch.
I feel like they should send us some and we can test them out and then we can give our honest review.
I don't want a fucking watch.
I do. Apple, I do. I would love the band. What do you call it? What do you call this part?
Technology whore.
What is this part called on a watch? What's this?
The band?
The band, yeah. I want a band to be, can they make a metal band or is it only like plastic?
Well, Nia, if you have a metal band, that's going to drag you under the water when you drive your car into the lake because you're texting between your iPhone and your iWatch.
Maybe it's leather. Maybe a nice soft leather.
Does a cow really have to die so you can fucking break your leg in a barn?
Maybe it's a biodegradable plastic. Anyway.
Maybe that's what happened to the farmer. He was killing the cow.
Light, minty, icy blue is a color that I'm really into right now, so you can send it in that colorway.
I love how you're talking about it this long like you think they're actually going to do it.
Listen, all they can say is no.
All they can say is no.
The worst they
I
can
like
say is
that.
no.
I'm going to be Oprah right now. I like that. And that's how we started. And then Nia wrote a book called All They Can Say Is No. Mm-hmm. Nia, how many times, girl, did you hear no?
Wow.
Did
Really?
Did you hear no growing up? And when did you decide? Was it after or before you got your iWatch?
You as the antagonistic talk show host, I feel like is a character you really should explore.
It's not a character.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm doing.
That's true.
Hey,
The antagonistic podcast host.
antagonistic podcast host. In sad news, I heard some poor kid died playing hockey.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Somebody's skate hit him in the neck. Now, that happened to Clint Malachuk way back in the day. He was playing goalie, and people crashed the net. And then goaltenders ended up getting some sort of, I believe, they changed the equipment. So I think this will definitely change the equipment. That happened to a friend of mine in my high school. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Skate went, he had the scar and everything, but it just didn't quite go deep enough for the jugular. Yeah, it happens. It seems like it happens once every fucking 5 million games.
Really?
I mean, the amount of hockey I've watched my whole life, I've only seen it happen once, and it was Clint Malarchuk. It's a freak thing.
So it's a freak accident thing. Yeah.
Well, that brought the whole thing down.
Why did you bring that up?
Because I don't know.
You running out of things to talk about?
No, I talked about Mike Nesmith dying, which really bothered me. 3 of the 4 monkeys are dead. Mickey Dolenz goes, that means I'm next.
That's the logic.
That is the logic. First, it's the people you watch. What's her? Betty White just died. The last person on the Mary Tyler Moore show. So literally a show that was putting out new episodes that I was watching when new episode. The whole fucking cast is dead of natural causes.
Are you having like some sort of like weird like I'm a moral person, like not moral, I'm mortal and I'm gonna die type of thing? Like what's going on right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You wait. I'm gonna be in my mid-50s, Nia, and it's just like I remember 15 years ago. It kind of seems like a while ago.
Another example, like your partner is gonna start having like a midlife crisis, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa, man, are you okay over there?"
First of all, you don't have
Nesmith, the skate. It's just like, sheesh.
First of all, you don't have a midlife crisis at 53. 53 times...
Isn't that kind of the middle of your life?
What's 53 times 2?
Well, I mean, yes, no. It's not the middle of your life. But
no, it's not even close. You think I'm going to make 106?
Well, the thing is, I always feel like, let's just say we live to 100. So that's, for me, I'd be like, yes, 50 is mid-age. Like,
all right. Well, I'm going to be 54 in June. So I'm on the other side.
Yeah. You're really...
I'm on like the 13th hole, Nia.
All downhill from here. Well, I'll be there holding your hand. So you can take comfort in that.
Oh, you are going to be the worst. When I'm on my deathbed, you're going to just be like, oh my God, he rang the buzzer again. I never should have given him that iWatch.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch, whatever.
No, by that time, it really will be a chip. And you know what? All you have to do is think about something that you want, and then someone will come tend to you. How about that?
I don't see that existing on my level.
And this is what's going to happen. When you're old and feeble, I'm not going to put you away. I'm going to put you in a wing of the house that I never go to. I'm just kidding. No, but I'll give you a nurse, and I'll set you up with a comfortable bed.
Of course. You're going to outsource taking care of me when I'm old. That is so you. You're going to get me a fucking old guy nanny. Well, what? You keep fucking... You go down Rodeo Drive looking for some old guy wearing Ed Hardy that you're going to hook up with? Wow.
And I'm just going to have them play movies for you all day, like all your favorite movies and everything like that. Like, so you'll just be sort of laughing and I don't know.
Wait, can we do this now? I would sign up for that the final year of my life. Let's do it.
Yeah, just play all your favorite movies and things and take you out for a little walk. No, of course I'd be there. What are you talking about? I'm going to be feeding you soup and rubbing your feet and all that other stuff.
Okay, now we're past the first 4 days of that. Oh my God, I'm so exhausted of taking care of my old husband. Let's go to oldhusband.net and see what my options are.
For a less old husband.
Oh, I was just saying for like taking care of me. You know what I mean? To try to get the new dumper bed. You can shit in the bed and you can dump them in the tub afterwards. It's a tub. It's a shitter. And then they have like ceiling to floor windows. When you die, the bed just slides towards the window and goes right off the side of the house.
What a great idea. Apple didn't come up with that.
Yet. The Apple bed.
We just gave them the idea, the Apple bed.
There'll be some woman making 911 call on her Apple Watch that her old husband that she married for money was banging her missionary style and just collapsed on her and she can't get him off. I'm laying underneath my rich husband. I think he's dead. His chest hair's in my mouth.
This is bothering me.
I'm calling you from my iWatch.
Not iWatch, Apple Watch.
Why is it the iPhone?
I don't know. What does the I stand for? Wait a minute. As an I as in me? Like myself? Or
probably.
Internet maybe? Internet phone. Internet.
How about we'll just go with ignorant with the two of us?
I'm sure it's so obvious too.
What is?
What it stands for. Like the
hey, I asked somebody, a sound person one time on a movie, I asked them what ADR stood for and they didn't know. They go, audio. She's like, oh my God, wait a minute. I don't know what the fuck that means.
ADR?
ADR.
Audio department repair.
No. For those of you not in the business of show.
I was going to say, is this a little too inside baseball?
ADR is after you do a movie, there'll be lines.
Or a TV show.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or an animated show. Anything where your voice is recorded.
Thank you for making that point so clear. Any other forms of media that you would like to talk about? Super 8 movies, actual film, digital, all mediums in the universe as yet to be created.
But anyway, you have to come back. You have to come back sometimes and re-record your lines for various reasons, like that audio might have not picked up a certain word, or you didn't say something clear enough, or whatever the case. So that's what ADR is. You come back and you go in the studio and they cue it up on a big screen. They cue up where you say your lines and you do them over again. So right. Bill's Googling alternative.
No.
That's not it?
No, that's...
There we go. Automated dialogue replacement.
Yeah, so it's basically if you're in a scene and you're running down a hall and your shoes are slapping on the floor, they can't hear the line that you said. So then they play it back to you and you're in the booth and they just have the scene going, the murderer's down the hall? No, he's right there. And then when you yelled, oh, fuck, you already started running. So then they beep you and they go, beep, beep, beep. And you have to go, oh, fuck. That was good. Try it again. You're a little late, little sooner. Oh, fuck. No, too quick.
For a perfect example
and you just
of
keep...
this, my pinned tweet, which was the birthday thread for Bill, and the first video on there is him doing ADR at The Simpsons. So you can.
No, I'm not.
Is that not you doing ADR?
No, that's me recording.
I was actually doing the lines. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards, if they had, if for some reason I made like a noise, and it usually doesn't happen in animation.
Yeah, but I did it for FS. No,
you know what? They come up with a new line. This is the ADR in animation is they come up with a new line.
Okay.
But the mouth still moves the same. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then you got to fit it in
to the mouth.
To the mouth. Yeah, they might change a word or whatever.
So what you were doing on The Simpsons was not ADR, but did you have to do ADR for The Simpsons at one point or no?
No.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't exist in.
I think I don't know.
In animated.
Well, because you would never be making unless you made a noise within the room you were recording it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Automated dialogue replacement. See? We've learned something. I bet the Apple Watch. I said it right. The Apple Watch has it. Mm-hmm. You know. All right. Well, what's his face? The great Andrew Themlis from Beverly Hills has not.
Beverly Hills' own.
Beverly Hills' own Andrew Themlis has not sent me the reads yet.
If I were doing a remake of Less Than Zero, I would cast Andrew Themlis in it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe in the Andrew McCarthy role. Like, don't you see him playing that?
Actually, I do.
Yeah. Andrew playing Andrew. He's laughing at this right now. Like, don't you think, Themlis? I feel like you would be great in something like that. You have the look for it.
You've got the look. All right, I got to pause now because I don't have any advertising or any of your questions. Oh, my God, we already did 43 minutes of babbling on here.
I'd like to think I brought something special to the podcast this episode.
Oh, Jesus. Nia, I don't know how I do this every week without you. You were amazing. You did. It was fun to bounce some ideas off you.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Now I'm going to go disappear for another 5 years.
No, you're not.
No, I'll be back.
All right.
We just have to get on the sketch.
You haven't been on the podcast so long, I don't know where my other microphone is.
There you go.
I'll tell you, that's a long time. All right. When we come back, we'll have advertising and questions. All right. All right, I'm back. I got the reads and everything, and what a difference a couple hours makes. As all of you already know, I literally just found out about the untimely and shocking passing of Bob Saget, and I don't even know what to say. I'm just absolutely in shock. I mean, I don't know what else to say than what everybody else said. Just like absolutely the nicest guy and just so goddamn funny. And absolutely loved making people laugh and loved jokes. And whenever I would text with him, he would go on until you stopped. Like, I don't care if it was like 3 a.m. If you were joking back and forth, that guy just loved to improv and just make people laugh. And one of the most amazing things that I found about that guy was he was literally friends with comedians that were only a couple years into the business, all the way to legends working in Vegas, some of whom who weren't selling as many tickets and kind of were working off the strip. He would fly out there. He'd go to their shows, encourage them, tell them they're funny, and have dinner with them. And I don't know. I met him. I believe the first time I met him was probably on the Opie and Anthony show. I can't remember if it was the Virus tour or if he was in studio first, but I was just struck with how down to earth he was. It was fucking Bob Saget, right? Who, you know, and yeah, I mean, he was just wire to wire. I knew him a little more than 15 years, and just wire to wire was just an absolute sweetheart. I'd never had one argument with him. He was just the nicest guy, and I really very thankful that I had a very complete friendship with him. You know, we told each other that we loved each other, shared, you know, stories about growing up and how the hell we both ended up being comedians. And, yeah, man, I mean, if that guy wasn't making people laugh, he was out organizing a benefit to help other people out. And that is why you see the kinds of tributes that he's getting. It's just fucking brutal. Fucking brutal. I'm absolutely in shock. So, with that, wow. Wow. Jesus Christ. Someday I will tell you guys, I'll tell you more stories that he would get a fucking kick out of. But it's always tragedy plus time. So, all right. Let's leave it at that. Okay. All right. Back to the podcast. Rest in peace, Bob. I love you to death, but you already knew that. You already knew that. Why did I just say I love you to death? He would have got a kick out of that. Stupid. All right. Butcherbox, everybody. Meal prepping is difficult. Not as difficult as when a good friend of yours dies. All right, this is going to seep into the rest of the podcast. Sorry. Butcherbox makes it easy. Butcherbox is a subscription service that takes the guesswork out of finding high-quality meat. Butcherbox sources their meat from partners with the highest standards for quality. No more searching the grocery store for 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and more. Their sourcing decisions are made holistically, keeping the farmer, the planet, the animal, and your family in mind. I wonder how the animal feels about that. Every month, Butcherbox ships a curated selection of high-quality meat right to your home, free shipping for the continental United States, no antibiotics or added hormones. Each box contains between 8 to 14 pounds of meat, ladies, depending on the box you choose. That's enough for 24 individual meals. Unless you're one of those skinny guys that eats all the hot dogs, you could probably do it in one meal. Packed fresh and shipped frozen for convenience so you can save time on your next grocery store trip. Customize your own box or go with one of theirs. Either way, you get exactly what you want. For a limited time, ButcherBox is offering new members a great deal for the new year. Sign up at butcherbox.com/Burr and you'll receive the ultimate New Year's bundle in your first box. This deal includes ground beef, chicken thighs, and pork butt. That's more than 7 pounds of meat added to your first box for free. Get this New Year's bundle before it's gone by going to butcherbox.com/Burr. All right, True Bill. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Well, yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Here we go. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't want, need, want, or simply forget about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. You got to have this because nobody looks at their credit card statement. They just look at the friggin' how much you owe. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. That's great. You got a heavy in the room. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/Burr. I got to get this. Go right now. Truebill.com/Burr. It could save you thousands of dollars a year. Truebill.com/Burr. Remember that podcast where Nia's going, why do you have 3 different cell phone numbers? And it went all the way back to the early 2000s when I had an internet phone number. I paid for that I swear to God, 12 years. And I think I only used it once. It didn't work. It was probably something Bobby told me about. Dude, you get your own internet number, dude. You do a gig, dude. Bam, whip, you're on the internet. Stamps.com. If you're a small business owner, you're busy enough as it is. You don't have time to deal with the hassle, man, of going to the post office. With Stamps.com, you can skip the trip and never waste another dollar or minute. Stamps.com lets you print official postage right from your computers so you can spend less time at the post office, more time running your business. You've heard me talk about Stamps.com. They've been sponsoring our shows for over 9 years now. And if you haven't tried it, what are you waiting for? Whether you're an office sending invoices, a side hustle Etsy shop, or a full-blown warehouse shipping out orders, Stamps.com will make your life easier. All you need is a computer and a standard printer. No special supplies or equipment. You're up and running in minutes, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send. Save time and money this year with Stamps.com. Sign up with the promo code Burr for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com. Click the microphone at the top of the homepage and enter the code Burr. All right, here's a Saget story for you. I got to change the names here. One of the last times I hung out with him, I was hanging, with a bunch of comics, some musicians and everything. Typical Comedy Store, just a great mix of people. We were up on the roof, thanks to Mike Binder and his documentary. They built a little area up there where you can smoke cigars. He did it for that documentary he did about the Comedy Store. So we're up on the roof, and we would just talking comedy. And there's this story about this one comic. I can't say the guy's name, but his deal, this is so bad. His deal was when a comic would die, he would call up that comic's agent and be like, oh my God, I heard about so-and-so. I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure you're doing okay. And then they'd be like, oh, gee, so-and-so, I'm so glad you called. It's so nice of you to reach out. And the comic would be, yeah, if there's anything I can do, I'm always here for you, buddy. We all love so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. And then in the end he goes, yeah, listen, and if he had any corporate dates on the book you need me to cover, just let me know. He was actually calling up to take the dead comics gigs under the guise of acting like he gave a shit. So anyway, how do I tell the story without giving away who it is? There was a story, a comedian, his wife was downstairs making breakfast. The guy died in the morning. Okay, that's the loose version of what happened. So we were all just sitting there thinking about that. And then out of nowhere, Saget goes, so-and-so probably came by and asked for his eggs. I can't do it justice. I also had to leave out so many details, but it was the fucking line of the night. And I remember I was up on the roof with Bartnick, and Bartnick has this thing when somebody just does a really dark, sick joke, which was so much of Bob's humor, which is so funny because he was such a loving, caring guy. He could just go so dark. I remember Bartnick just closing his eyes and just threw his head back and started laughing. And I remember laughing and yelling out, line of the night. And I remember seeing how happy that made him. There is something to be said about dying young, because then you don't have to hang around and watch all your friends die. I always wondered what it was like. These people lately, like Betty White, dying at like fucking 99. It's just like, everybody you went to school with is dead. Everybody, you got like movies you did, like everybody's dead. That's got to be like, why isn't anybody asked I guess it's not a nice thing to ask an older person, but I would love, like one of my relatives lived close to 105, and she was on like her third set of friends. She was a card player. She always played bridge and everything. They always say that's so good for your brain. And she just was sharp as a tack right to the very end. And I remember my relatives telling me, yeah, she's outlived the people she grew up with, the next generation, the generation after that. Yeah, she'd always be playing cards with women in their 60s and 70s. And, I'd come back, and every 10 years there'd be a different group of women and she would still be sitting there. It's just fucking, it's like one of those actors that just never leaves Law and Order. The whole cast changes around him. All right, let's do some of the questions here for the week. All right, useless Christmas present. Dear Billy Buttfuck, I have a useless Christmas present. My mom wanted to give me your action figure from The Mandalorian for Christmas, so she went ahead and ordered one, and a package came in the mail a few weeks later. The only problem was the package was giant. Confused, she opened up the package to find a giant, big-headed Mayfeld cardboard cutout. Oh, no. Turns out the action figures don't come out until next year, so they sent this instead. So now I have this life-size cardboard cutout of you in your Mandalorian outfit, and I have nowhere to put it. I laughed my ass off for 10 minutes straight and thought you'd enjoy the story. I'm definitely keeping this useless piece of shit. I've attached a picture for your enjoyment. Thanks for bringing enjoyment to my life. Oh my God, it's fucking huge. What the hell would you do with that? I don't know. Why don't you reboot Weekend at Bernie's? Fucking drive around with that thing. I have no idea. But thank you for watching the show, and thank you for caring enough to order the action figure. All right. SR-71 Blackbird pilot tells story. The story you were trying to recollect this past Monday regarding the ground speed checks. Oh, okay. Let's see if this is audio or is it okay, so yeah. Okay, center, Aspen 20. You got a ground speed radar for us? There was a pause longer than normal. Aspen, I show 1,942 knots. No further inquiries were heard on that frequency. Okay. All right, can I read all of this? Okay, so basically what happened is I guess there was some guys flying around and somebody goes to do an altitude check, which I guess is like a big dick thing in aviation, that if you're flying the highest, you got the biggest balls. Typical dumb guy shit, right? So anyways, here's the story of somebody who did that and then got basically topped like 3 or 4 times within the transmission here. Throughout its nearly 24-year career, the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird Mach 3 strategic reconnaissance aircraft remained the world's fastest and highest flying operational aircraft. From 80,000 feet, it could survey 100,000 square miles of the Earth's surface per hour. So it comes as no surprise if, thanks to astonishing flight characteristics, the aircraft set numerous speed and altitude records throughout its career. Nevertheless, the Blackbird wasn't an easy plane to fly, as SR-71 pilot Brian Schul recalls in his book Sled Driver. There were a lot of things we couldn't do in an SR-71, but we were the fastest guys on the block and love reminding our fellow aviators of this fact. People often asked us if, because of this fact, it was fun to fly the jet. Fun would not be the first word I would use to describe flying this plane. Intense, maybe even cerebral. Jesus Christ. So that thing was squirrely, going faster than anything else at 80,000 fucking feet. Dude, those guys are nuts. I like my little egg beater here helicopter. However, according to Shull, there was one day in our sled experience when we would have to say that was pure fun to be the fastest guys out there, at least for the moment. I'll always remember a certain radio exchange that occurred one day as Walt, my backseater, and I were screaming across Southern California, 13 miles high. 13 miles high. We were monitoring various radio transmissions from our other aircraft as we entered Los Angeles airspace. Though they didn't really control us, they did monitor our movement across the scope. I heard a Cessna ask for a readout of its ground speed. 90 knots, Center replied. Moments later, a Twin Beach required the same. 120 knots, Center answered. We weren't the only ones proud of our ground speed that day, as almost instantly an F-18 smugly transmitted. Center Dusty 52 requests ground speed readout. There was a slight pause, then the response, 620 knots on the ground, Dusty. All right, so he just big leagued the guy in the Cessna and then the Twin. Another silent pause. As I was thinking to myself how ripe a situation this was, I heard a familiar click of a radio transmission coming from my back seater. It was at that precise moment I realized Walt and I had become a real crew, for both of us were thinking in unison. How cool is that? Center, Aspen 20, you got a ground speed readout for us? There was a longer than normal pause. Aspen, I show 1,942 knots. No further inquiries were heard on that frequency. That's fucking awesome. Oh, men. That's how we break balls. All right, dictator idea. Oh, I had a good one the other day. I can't remember it. It was just a simple one. God damn it. I'll have to start writing them down. Hey, William the Dictator, long-time listener, first-time writer. Yes, I've been asking my listeners, me and the voices in my head have been asking the listeners, if you were a dictator, what would be something that you would implement? Okay, so hypothetically, I've just become leader. This is this guy here, of guess let's go with America. And I've got total control. All right, you're the dictator of America. Wonderful. First things first, free health care and education for everyone. Not because I give a shit, but I have no use for broken, dead, stupid people. All housing, food needs are provided for you. All this should foster goodwill between me and the people. Then I remove the economy. Money will no longer be necessary. All right. Well, how do you keep the military and all these other guys at bay who want their money? A person is 100% taken care of in terms of schooling, clothes, amenities, etc., as long as they hold down a job. Doesn't matter what it is, you do a job. You got to keep existing. All right, well then how do you keep people from fucking taking easy jobs? You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'll push a broom. I'm not going to become a brain surgeon. Why do I want to dedicate all of that if I could just push a broom and be taken care of? Don't mean to poke holes. Let me read the rest of this. I make sure I have enough people work infrastructure jobs to keep things running smoothly. Entertainment will still be a big industry and people will still have weekends to blow off steam. After all, I want a happy population because people work harder, and if they don't, well, I always like Carlin's bit about bringing back crucifixion. Oh, Jesus, you crucify him. Crime will only have two punishments, capital punishment or life in the slave pens. Weed will be legal. I turn the focus of this country from corporate consumerism to scientific research. Every available extra resource will be devoted towards the development of every scientific area, with the ultimate goals being eternal life for me. Infinite energy, as close as one can get. Complete command over our DNA, able to make superhuman gene warriors, highly intelligent human computers, etc., faster than light travel, and contact with whatever the fuck we find there in the void of space. These are just sort of the big points I'd hit after becoming the dictator of America. Thanks for all the laughs, chuckles, and go fuck yourself. Wow, man, you got a plan here, man. I think you would have to be a world dictator to make that work. If you're going to eliminate money and all of that, I don't know how you're going to do that and still coexist with the rest of the world, because we owe them money. It's just like, well, we got rid of money, man. We don't have any anymore. World's best dictator. Hey there, sagging red baggins. My first action as a dictator would be make the world a better place, and goes as follows. I would create a health status-based tax and payroll system. Your base income tax percent will reflect your body fat percentage. Wait, that was over my head. I would create a health status-based tax and payroll system. Your base income tax percent will reflect your body fat percentage. All right. For safety and to maintain revenue, the best score would be 10%. Maintaining 10% for many years will result in a better retirement package. I imagine the revenue would shrink up, but so will the medical tax burden of this fat-ass nation. The amount of pay you earn would be based on an algorithm governed by a semi-annual blood test and a physical fitness test. Halt all plastic surgeries unless life-threatening for 10 years. Then tell everyone I'm revamping the plastic surgery industry for improvements. But everyone would have to prepay their requests for the 10 years. After the 10 years are up and the money is collected, I would tell all the vanity-based surgery requests to fuck off. Oh, you double-cross them. How are you going to stay on your fucking king's chair with all those guys coming at you with their scalpels? Then I would take all the money and give free surgeries to people suffering from deformities at birth or innocent accidental deformities. Any serious criminals found guilty via hard evidence, such as rapists, killers, filthy banker cunts, or corrupt government officials, would be sent to a top secret prison. But they would be what the masses. That would be what the masses think. What would really happen is they get taken to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch where they get injected with Ebola and AIDS and left stranded to die of sunburn and dehydration. Jesus. I'd also make you fly us around to various cigar plantations. Thank you for what you do, and thank you to all the comedians. I know Nia is busy being a mother, but we do miss her on the podcast. Well, look at that. You got her in the early part of this. Take care, oh great freckled cunt. That's an interesting one. You're going hard there. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to go after bankers and all them, you're going to make sure you kill them because they will fucking regroup and, they'll do something. They'll come back at you. All right, shower problem. Dear little drummer cunt. Dear little drummer cunt, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. I'm 30 years old and have been in a great relationship for about a year, but my girlfriend is always asking me to shower with her. We're not 15 anymore, and we've been dating a while, so this isn't about sex. She says it's a great way to be present and connect since there are no phones or distraction, which I agree with because we have some of our best conversations in there. All this sounds great, except I'm fucking miserable during it. We just have a normal shower, one shower head, so when she's soaking up the hot water for most of the shower, I'm sitting there freezing my ass off with soap in my eyes. When I do get my 10 seconds of water, I feel like I'm walking a tightrope, squeezing by her in the small-ass tub. Should I be a man and suck it up, or bring it up and ask for more time in the water? By the way, your painter rants from last summer still crack me up every time I think about it. Love the podcast and wish you and your family the best for 2022. I got it here, okay? Because that's a great thing. Your wife, your girlfriend wants to connect with you and everything. And, happy wife, happy life. Same thing with a girlfriend. So what you should do is you should up the level of gayness to it, or femininity, whatever you want to call it, and just take a bath with her. All right? Then you're both in the hot water. She can have a nice conversation. It actually takes a little bit longer, so she feels like you care more. And then you don't freeze your ass off. And you can just sit there doing, active listening. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love her. She's great. You just do that. And then you're good. All right. Anyways, that is the end of the podcast, everybody. And man, this was a weird one. Once again, I can't believe Bob is gone. And if you guys didn't know him, go read all the tributes. And the world would be a better place if everybody tried to be more like the great Bob Saget was. That is it. I will talk to you guys on Thursday. Okay.